Last month, we broke down XRP's fundamentals. The lightning-fast transactions, the low fees, and the hype around its potential to shake up global payments. But today, we're trying to answer the question of why the hell is the price still down? As you probably know, XRP scored a massive legal victory against the SEC in March 2025, and this ended years of uncertainty. Everyone expected the price to skyrocket, yet here we are, with XRP stuck in the mud. So what the hell is going on? Is this just market noise, or is there a hidden force at play? Buckle up, because we're about to peel back the curtain and expose the truth. We will look through its recent trading history, explore the aspects holding it back, and lay out the 3 future possibilities. Let's kick things off with the data. XRP's price over the last few months tells a strange story. On March 19, 2025, right after Ripple's CEO announced the SEC was dropping its lawsuit, XRP spiked to $2.55, which is a 20% jump in a single day. The trading volume hit a massive $9.6 billion, showing the market was buzzing. But the party didn't last. By March 31st, it slumped to $2.09. That's a 20% drop from its post-win peak. After that initial surge, XRP's 30-day volatility has settled to around 5%, down from 10% in mid-March. The excitement's fading fast. The Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is hovering at 48, neutral territory, not overbought or oversold. The Moving Average Convergence Divergence line, or MACD line, is below the signal line, which hints at bearish momentum. XRP's testing support at $2, with resistance at $2.30 proving tough to crack. Meanwhile, the broader crypto market's been in a correction. Bitcoin fell from $85,000 in mid-March to $84,409 by month end. XRP is not alone in feeling the chill, but its underperformance stands out. So, what's holding it back? First, let's recap the legal victory. In March 2025, the SEC dropped its 4-year case against Ripple, reducing a potential $125 million fine to just $50 million. The court had already ruled XRP isn't a security for retail sales, which is a huge win for Ripple and the crypto community. This should have been rocket fuel for XRP's price, right? So why didn't it stick? Well, analysts point to 2 big factors. Number 1 is priced-in hype. XRP had been climbing since late 2024, as rumors swirled that the SEC would fold. By the time the news hit, traders were ready to cash out. Think sell the news on steroids. Number 2 is market headwinds. March 2025 wasn't kind to crypto. With Bitcoin correcting and regulatory noise still lingering, XRP's win got drowned out. Legal expert Stuart Alderoty told CNBC, "This clears a hurdle, but institutional uncertainty remains." The SEC could still appeal or scrutinize Ripple's institutional sales, keeping big money on the sidelines. Okay, what about the mainstream media? How did they play this? At first, it was all fireworks. CNBC ran with XRP surges 10% as Ripple claims decisive win. But the tone shifted fast. People were asking and articles were popping up, pointing to decentralization doubts and utility questions. This flip-flop might have confused people. Early hype drew in buyers, but the follow-up skepticism could have delayed bigger moves. Plus, there's narrative fatigue. Here's what I mean. XRP's been in the spotlight for years. And throughout those years, there were lawsuits and dozens of predictions and a whole lot of drama. Some investors might just be over it and just waiting for real results instead of headlines. Now, let's get investigative, because you must always check if there's something fishy going on. Some folks think XRP's price is being held down on purpose. Here's the theory. So smart money, the whales and institutions, are keeping XRP low to stack their bags before the next big run. For something of this size, surely there must be evidence, right? Yep, before the SEC win, whales scooped up $460 million in XRP, which, by the way, was the second biggest whale activity this month. Just before that, $700 million were accumulated. Post-win, between March 27th and 29th, they dumped, triggering a drop from $2.18 to $2.05. On March 19th, a $400 million sell-off hit, right as XRP peaked at $2.55. Every time it nears $2.30, huge sell walls pop up. Coincidence? The idea is that big players sell strategically to scare off retail investors, then buy back cheaper. It's sneaky, and it's not impossible. We've all seen it before. But hold up, XRP's drop actually mirrors altcoins like Cardano or Solana during the same period. Without hard proof, it's speculation. What do you think? Anyway, let's zoom out. Despite the stagnation, XRP's fundamentals are rock solid. They got over 300 deals with banks like Santander and Standard Chartered, plus some new Web3 collabs in 2025. Its on-demand liquidity, or ODL service, is live in more than 40 countries, and it's moving billions in cross-border payments. Rumors of an XRP ETF are heating up, and Ripple's stablecoin, RLUSD, could tie it into the US crypto reserve. The thing is that XRP is actually built for real-world use, not just speculation. Analysts at Finder predict $2.50 by 2026 if adoption keeps climbing. The SEC win was step one, and now it's all about execution. The price might be sleeping, but the potential's wide awake. With the SEC hurdle cleared, Ripple's poised to finally take things to the next level. Let's break down what could happen next and how XRP could realistically shoot for the stars. Think $20 and even $50 per coin. They already partnered with over 300 financial institutions worldwide. American Express, Santander, Standard Chartered, and so on. These aren't just names on a list. They're potential users of XRP for cross-border payments. So now, after the case is closed, it's time for them to double down on growth. Imagine if they double that to 600 partners in the next few years. Each new bank or fintech jumping on board increases XRP's utility and demand. Then the network effect kicks in, which just means that the more players are using XRP, the more valuable it becomes. With legal clarity, the sky's the limit. Now let's explore some game-changing possibilities. Possibility 1 is an XRP ETF. An exchange-traded fund could launch as early as 2026, letting institutional investors pour money into XRP without touching a wallet. That's a flood of new demand waiting to happen. Possibility 2 is global expansion. Ripple's eyeing markets like the Middle East and Asia, where cross-border payments are a trillion-dollar headache. If ODL takes off there, XRP usage could explode. Possibility 3 is a CBDC bridge. Ripple's working on central bank digital currency projects. If XRP becomes the go-to bridge currency for CBDCs, acting like a global financial glue, then its value will skyrocket. Now let's talk some numbers XRP fans dream about. Right now, XRP's market cap is around $100 billion at $1.80, with $50 billion in circulation. The global cross-border payment market is massive. It's projected to hit $250 trillion by 2027. If XRP captures just 1%, that's $2.5 trillion in transactional value, and we assume a reasonable velocity, or in other words, how often XRP gets used, then its market cap will soar. At $20, that's a $1 trillion market cap, matching Bitcoin's 2021 peak. Entirely plausible if Ripple's network grows and an ETF pumps in institutional cash. At $50, that's a $2.5 trillion market cap. This one is ambitious but not impossible. If XRP grabs 5% of the market and becomes a CBDC linchpin, the demand could justify it. Supply's fixed at 100 billion XRP, with about half circulating. So more demand, limited supply, and prices go up. In the 2017 bull run, XRP hit $3.80. With a new bull cycle, legal clarity, and real adoption, $20 is within reach, and $50 is the stretch goal. You know this won't happen overnight, right? It needs sustained adoption, regulatory tailwinds, and a crypto-friendly market. But for long-term holders, the pieces are falling into place. We're near the end of this video, so what's the deal really? The SEC win should have been a launchpad, but market anticipation, whale selling, and a shaky crypto backdrop kept it grounded. Add in mixed sentiment and media waffling, and you've got a recipe for stagnation. So is the market really manipulated? Here's my take. The price isn't where we want it yet. but that doesn't mean the game's over. Ripple's building something big, like partnerships, adoption, and a shot at global finance domination. Patient investors could see massive rewards down the line, maybe even that $20 to $50 moonshot if the stars align. What do you think? Is XRP being suppressed, or is this just a waiting game? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I read every single one. If this deep dive opened your eyes, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more no BS crypto breakdowns. Stay sharp, don't just chase headlines, and I'll see you in the next one.